Welcome to another weekly vlog. I just finished going for a walk. So Lewis and I are doing a challenge of walking 10 kilometers. Well, he's doing 10,000 steps. I'm doing 10 kilometers every day just to see how we feel and if it makes much of a difference. Actually he's still walking. I finished about 10 minutes ago and I just got home. Cold at the moment, even though it's like really sunny outside. I'm just in the process of making some breakfast because it's freezing, and I'll show you the bacon that I got. I only really buy a specific type of bacon, Princess, but I just find that it tastes the best. So it's this one here. I'm pretty sure it's called like streaky bacon. There's also streaky maple bacon, which is I think $1 a kilo more expensive, but in my opinion it's the best. I need to invest, I think, into an apron because a lot of my like clothes have got a few like oil stains, like this jumper, which I really like. I just don't like the logo. Like I love the color, but I think it's got a couple of oil stains, and my black top in all my Instagram reels have got a couple of oil stains. So I think I might try and get like a fun apron. I'm not sure, or if I should go like just plain and boring and get like a green or a black, or I'm not sure. Anyway, today is grand final day. I'm not really interested in the grand final this year. It's two out of Melbourne, well, out of not Victorian teams. So I don't know if that's bad for me. I like bad to say, but I don't really care who wins. Like I'm going for Sydney, mostly because I don't particularly like a player that is in Brisbane. He's a bit of a douche. He doesn't seem like a very nice person, so I'm not going for that team. And yeah, like the day's really nice. Lewis and I had some really good nachos yesterday. I made pulled beef, like burrito beef, but we added it to some nachos, and we had a couple of beers and I'm feeling a bit like puffy. So that's why we just went for a walk. So before I just did 4.8 kilometers and my goal is 10 kilometers a day. Probably not going to reach it today considering I'm going to be at my mum's house. Yeah, okay, my breakfast is almost done. Here is my breakfast, just some eggs over easy and some bacon.
There's more deli.
Make more noise. We just got back from You're so annoying. Just got back from IKEA and the markets, and it was actually really good. The market was extremely busy, but we managed to get some pretty good finds and for like a reasonable price too. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a haul.
What's the market called again?
Dandenong Market? Dandenong Market. We've never been. I didn't even know that there was a market like in the east or like southeast of Melbourne. I always thought they were in like the north or near the CBD. So it was a good little find. So from IKEA we got some like Ziploc bags. So I got two lots of 50 Ziploc bags. We did intend to go to find a cooking trolley, like a kitchen workbench trolley. But the one that we were specifically going to get wasn't on display, so we couldn't quite tell if it was the right one. So we're gonna buy one online instead. So we got that. Some like little clips. So we use these for like chip packets, vegetable packets, like anything that sort of needs the air to be staying like in the packet. So these were $2 each, and like they're really cool, pretty colors too. Next we got a serrated knife because we do not own one, and I bought some sourdough this week, and trying to cut it with just like a regular knife was quite tricky. So we got a little serrated one, $20 for a knife, which is pretty good. And then we needed a new spatula because I or the dishwasher or Lewis bent our spatula and it's like starting to come apart, like the glue, because we've put it in the dishwasher, has obviously started to melt. So we just had to get another one. This was $10. So that's everything that we got from IKEA. Very tame. We only got what we needed. And then from the market, actually managed to get like quite a few things. The first was just some vegetables. Really cheap too. So all these vegetables all up were $6.63, which is really good value, like very, very good. First was a whole celery. This was $2. A leek, $2. packet of carrots. So these are just like the normal kind of carrots that you'd get from Woolies or Coles, $2. And then a Lebanese cucumber, which was 65 cents. So for those 4 things, $6.63, which was really good. We could have got a lot more, but I didn't bring a list, which don't do that. Always go with a list. Then we went to like a cheese what are they called? Delicatessen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Oh no, it's smushed a little. We picked up a smoked red Leicester. Leicester? I don't know how to pronounce it. This one, it's like red and orange. It's like smoked. It was $7.89. And then this truffle cheddar, and it looks like it's got lots of bits of truffle in it. So hopefully it is like truffle flavor or like truffle-y, not like fake truffle. Because sometimes they put lots of truffle bits in it and it doesn't taste anything like it. It just tastes cheddary. So yeah, so we got these 2. That was like $18. Pretty expensive for cheese, but if it tastes good and it's nice and creamy. And then we went to like this place that sold like lots of spices, pastas, Mexican sauces, lots of different things. And I picked up these mafalde. I don't know. I'm not Italian. I don't know how to pronounce things. But it's like crinkle pasta. I've been looking for this everywhere in Woolies and Coles, and they don't sell stuff like this. Or they sell like the really small broken ones. And this would be good with like a ragu or I don't know, like some sort of pasta sauce. But like to go with this, we bought... Yeah, we're going to use this, which is just a... What has it got in it? It's a heat and serve traditional cherry tomato sauce. And all it has in it is Italian cherry tomatoes, olive oil, salt, carrot, onion, basil, and celery. No preservatives, no added nasties. Like it looks pretty homemade. It kind of looks like barbecue sauce with how dark it is. So we're gonna have this with this. And then we also picked up some Mexican sauces. So we're getting really into like pulled beef burritos because the place that we used to go to where we used to live, they've changed recently. So like their burritos aren't as good and I feel like I can make it just as well at home. If not like sort of better from like what they're making at the moment. So Lewis got this chile habanero sauce. It's like a black sauce. It looks kind of disgusting, but apparently it's nice. And then he also got this chile chipotle one. So I picked up those, which was pretty good. So yeah, I can have these with like tacos, enchiladas, quesadillas, all of those things. And then some flowers. So I bought myself a little bouquet of flowers. And natives tend to last a lot longer. So if you are going for bouquets of flowers, try not to go for the ones that have like, I love gerberas, like gerberas, roses. They don't ever last anywhere near as long as these. These tend to last like 2 weeks, maybe longer if you take care of them. And lastly, we got 30 eggs for $18. I think these are free range. Yeah, they're free range eggs. So we're gonna test to see if these are better than Woolies and Coles. And we'll be able to tell by if they give me a sore tummy. So if I need to go to the toilet straight after eating these, it means that they're not good quality. But if I don't and I don't get a sore tummy, that means that these are good. They're pretty expensive, I'd say, for a market. They were like $18. So on par with how much 30 eggs would cost. But they look clean, they look nice. We'll give them a try. Morning, welcome to Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I started off my morning with a 4 or 5 kilometer walk with Lewis, which was really great. The weather in Melbourne at the moment is fantastic, even though I'm pretty sure last week I was complaining that the weather was awful. It's like blue skies, it's not too cold. It was like 13 degrees this morning. Oh no, it was 9 degrees this morning, but it felt warmer because of the sun. I'm going to start a new series on YouTube. So previously I hadn't really wanted to vlog too much about like my new business adventure because I didn't want to bore you, but I feel like that's my life right now. I'm not teaching. I don't really have that much going on in my life other than trying to build up a social media platform or like a following. And I think that it might be really interesting, not only for my like own reflection to document how far I've really come, but also maybe for other creators or for people on YouTube to kind of realize how hard or how easy it actually is to grow on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. So I'm considering calling like my weekly vlogs now the Insta Diaries. So the journey of someone who has quit their full-time job, which is me, and wanting to start a content creation business, which is what I am doing. I have a recipe website that does okay, but social media really helps to drive traffic to like recipe websites, and to build up a following is how a lot of people can sustain like a full-time income, which is kind of the main goal of everything, is to basically sustain myself with enough income that I never have to go back to teaching, or that I don't have to go back teaching full-time. And so like with my YouTube, I'm so proud of all the followers that I have. It did take me a really long time to get there, and I know that not being consistent has obviously bitten me in the bum quite a lot. But starting an Instagram account from zero, I'm hoping is going to be maybe a different experience, and hopefully a bit more motivating, or have a bit more insight for like others that are out there. So yeah, I want to call it like the Insta Diaries. And because I'm starting from zero, I think it would be interesting to see, okay, well, does consistency, does different types of reels, does being present on stories, does doing carousels have an effect on your following and your engagement? So at the moment, at the time of recording, I have 125 followers on Instagram, and it is the 30th of September, and I started my Instagram on the 30th of August. So it has taken me a month, or like 30 days, 31 days, however many, like 30, 31 days to get 125 followers. I was not expecting to have that following. I was honestly expecting 1,000. I don't know why I thought I'd be able to grow my Instagram that quickly, considering like being a brand new account. Instagram at that stage kind of has no idea who I am, who my audience is, and what kind of content I'm putting out there. But upon reflection, I'm actually really proud of it, considering it did take me a really long time to kind of figure out the algorithm, and I'm still figuring it out. I'm still figuring out a lot to do with Instagram and TikTok. They're both very different, and all of the advice that I've been given is helpful, but it's also, I feel like sometimes it is just luck. Like sometimes you've just edited a video or a reel so well that the algorithms picked it up and it sent it out to like 10,000 people, which has happened actually. On my TikTok, I had one video recently on Saturday get over 25,000 views in like 36 hours. And then on Instagram, I had one video that I wasn't gonna publish at all because I thought that it was quite bad, that reached 14,000. And then most of my other views on Instagram are around 1,000 to 1,500. And then the same with TikTok. So it varies. So on TikTok, some of them are like, I've got like one that's at 10,000, and then I've got one that's on like 200. Whereas on Instagram, it's a bit more consistent. I don't think I have anything under 1,000 views, but then I've got like 14,000. So I really would like to document it. I mean, it's just going to be like a normal vlog anyway, but it is going to be talking a bit more about like my strategy and like the different series that I'm doing and why I've chosen to do that, and possibly the outcome and the results of doing it. So at the moment, I am doing and starting a budget dinner series for couples specifically. So food is my bigger niche, but then within that niche, I want to focus on couples because I am a couple. And Lewis and I want to try and save money at the grocery shop, and Lewis and I want to save money at the supermarket, just like I'm sure a lot of other people want to do as well, because times are so tough. So that's sort of my pain point. My pain point is that groceries are expensive, and like it's really hard to find or create delicious dinners that are under like $10 for two people or $15 for two people. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I do have to go to the shops though first, before I even think about it. I have an idea of some recipes, and I've got 5 in the works so far. And hopefully by the time this is live, the recipes will be up there, so then you can go and view it. Let me know what you think about that idea. I think that doing a budget series will be helpful because it's bingeable. So people can sit on Instagram and they can kind of scroll through the 5 or 10 budget dinner series that I'm hoping, or like that we'll have on Instagram. And I'm not sure if that's like the niche that I should sort of stay in. Like if it performs really well and I gain a couple, like, and I gain a following or like some followers from that, I think maybe then I'd stick with it a bit. But then if nothing comes from it, if I don't gain more followers, then I might try and figure out another strategy or another sort of series to do. Because I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were like, Instagram wants something or someone that is bingeable. Like they want someone that can just sit on the app and just scroll. Same as like TikTok. And also being either attainable or relatable. I'm not attainable. I'm not a chef. I don't have those incredible, insane skills. I'm not aesthetic. Like my house isn't aesthetic. I don't try to look the most beautiful all the time. But I feel like I'm relatable. Like I'm just an everyday person trying to create and come up with interesting recipes so then your meals and like your dinner and lunch taste good. So that's the kind of route that I'm going down. But yeah, I need to go to the shops because it's already like pretty late. And yeah, I need to call my bank and get my ABN fixed. And then I need to like tidy the house and then figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow and then the rest of the day. So I'm going to be writing recipes as I'm doing this as well. So then we can publish these budget recipes on the website too, because that also might do well on the website as well. So it's not just Instagram and TikTok, we're focusing on the website too, which is the same name as the Instagram, similar name as the Instagram handle. If you're wanting to go and check it out, we did buy it from someone though. So we did have purchased this website. We're not building that from scratch, but we're building the following from scratch. Oh, and also if you're not following, I would really appreciate if you do go over and follow. And if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments or feel free to DM me. DMs are great for engagement. So if you want engagement on your Instagram too, please feel free to send me a DM. I will reply. So the time is 1:40. I was meant to get back like ages ago, but I had to go to 2 different bank branches and they weren't near each other. They were like 25 minutes apart. And then I had to do grocery shop and blah, like all the stuff. So let's have a look at what I bought for groceries this week. I did go to Aldi and to Woolworths. I was on a budget because on my Instagram that I've started, I'm doing budget meals for couples because obviously the cost of living is just absolutely ridiculous at the moment. And everyone, including us, are trying to find ways to have really yummy and delicious meals, but not spend an absolute fortune. So last week, our grocery bill was very expensive. It was like $250 for 2 people. But this week, I've managed to get it down to $140 for 2 people. And not everything that I've bought here is for the budget meals. So I'd say like the budget meals are around $10 per meal, I'd say. So maybe I'd be able to get $100 worth of groceries to create and cook lots and lots of different meals. Before I jump into it, some of the rules on the budget meals is that I have to use everything that I've got. Like I can't use thyme that I haven't bought for the dish. Like I can't just use it straight from the pantry. The only things that I can use from the pantry are salt, pepper, and olive oil. So I did have to go out and get butter for the recipes that I'm going to create, and I can only use that portion of butter. So same with like herbs, I went out and got like a couple of herbs that I can only use in these dishes. I can't use like cumin that's in my cupboard because that wasn't part of this grocery haul. So what I've got, let's start with the colds because I need to put them away. Some chicken. So like I said, I went to Aldi and to Woolworths. So Aldi, I got most of the stuff from. So 4 chicken breasts, a thing of Parmesan, some chuck beef casserole. I'm going to split this and make this into 2 meals. So it was $12.53. So half that, like $6.20 something, 20 whatever, 25 point whatever. I did get two beef minces. So one is for the budget series and one is not. I'm gonna make some wraps with that one and some like burritos. I got some tasty cheese, a juice. Again, this is not for the series, just for us to have this weekend. It's the Nudie. We love this juice. It's nothing but pineapple lemonade. So pear, pineapple, lemon, and lime. I don't know how this is going to taste. I'm not sure Lewis will be too happy about that one. I also got some goat's cheese. So this is for breakfast, where we do some scrambled eggs and then plop some chives on top. It's really, really yummy. Way cheaper at Aldi than it is at Woolies. Milk, having some iced coffees. Some things of potatoes. I got a whole 2 kilos. This, I won't use the whole bag for the series, but at least I'll be able to use it for other things too. Also from Aldi, I picked up some breadcrumbs. So normally I use panko, but for one of the particular dishes, I want to use breadcrumbs instead. Some tortilla chips. This is a snack, this isn't for a recipe. Some chicken noodles, again for a snack, not for a recipe. So you can see how like the bill was 150. Not everything is going towards the budget recipes. I picked up this Mexican rice. I did buy the Coles home brand Mexican rice, but it had black beans in it. This one doesn't, and I hate black beans. They make me really gassy and sore tummy. So I'd like to try this one. Picked up a tomato, some lettuce. This lettuce I'm going to make with wraps. So some broccolini for a side dish with one of the budget meals. Some chives. A tomato paste. Campbell's condensed cream of chicken. And then I picked up 3 Italian diced tomatoes. I only think I needed like 1, but I decided to buy a whole bunch because they were like 80 cents or something. How many were they? Oh, 95 cents. They were 95 cents each. And then I got 2 onions. Ooh. Eggplant or an aubergine if you're not from Australia. Some ginger. Some taco seasoning. And I got 1 thing of beef stock and 1 thing of chicken stock. I really like this brand. I'd say this is my favorite stock brand. I do have some in the cupboard, but again, we're trying to find cheaper, and the ones that I've got in the cupboard are much bigger and they're much more expensive. So these were $1 for 7 stock cubes. So whatever 100 divided by 7 is. Someone else can work that out. Now, from Woolies, I got some mushrooms. I didn't want to buy a whole thing of mushrooms from Aldi because I didn't need a whole bunch. I only needed just a few. So sometimes it's not better to buy in bulk, especially like fruit and veg if you're not going to use it. So I just got a couple of mushies. I also got some pappardelle from Woolies. The ones at Aldi were actually like $1.50 more expensive. So I did check before I bought from Woolies to make sure that it was cheaper at Woolies, not Aldi. I got some large tortillas because I'm going to make some burritos and some wraps. I bought some Kewpie mayo, again for the wraps, and because we didn't have much, and also because it was on sale. Never buy Kewpie full price. I always wait for it to go on sale. And then some mini Cokes. Some creme fraiche to go on top of a soup that I'm making, and then as well as these like little canister of M&Ms. I was hoping to get the bag, but then I was like, if I buy the bag, I'm gonna eat the entire thing. Whereas if I want to eat raw edible cookie dough without an egg, I can just use these, and like half the canister should be enough. Some salted butter. So this isn't the one that we normally get, but Woolies didn't stock, like the Woolies that I went to didn't stock the one that we normally get. And when you check to make sure that it's actually butter, just check to make sure that it actually says like cream. I'm not sure if that's gonna show. Yeah, just check to make sure that it actually says cream, because some of the things, especially from Aldi, they claim to be butter, but they're like oil. The main ingredient is oil, not cream. And then lastly, with a whole bunch of seasonings that I bought. Yes, I did need to stock up on a lot of these, but some I didn't. But for the purpose of the videos, I thought it was important to buy them individually. So we got some bay leaves, paprika, smoked paprika. I don't like sweet or hot paprika. I prefer smoked. Onion powder. I'm trying this one, which is more expensive. This was like $3.40 because it's not stuck together. I find that whenever I buy the Woolies onion powder, it like sticks or gets stuck. Some oregano, some thyme. Now we actually have a lot of like thyme and parsley, fresh stuff in our backyard. We went and bought a whole bunch, but again, purpose of the video, $1.20 versus trying to sustain and keep alive a plant, much easier. And then garlic powder. This sachet was cheaper than actually getting it in this, and I can just add this to a canister that I already have. And then lastly, for Lewis's request, is the Everything But the Bagel seasoning by Mingle. So all of this was around $150. I think that's pretty good. Definitely, I'd say like maybe $50 or so is not for the videos, but I'd say a lot of it actually is, which going to Aldi and then shopping for what Aldi doesn't sell at Woolworths really does save you a lot of money, even though it doesn't save you a lot of time. But for the rest of the afternoon, I have to call the bank to try and get them to fix it so then I can actually start using my business account properly, like for groceries, because my business is food. And then I have to check tomorrow's recipes, do a little bit of admin, and this is what our journey is looking like so far. And this is kind of like an every week type situation. Usually I get it done on Sunday, but we went to the market yesterday and I couldn't be bothered going to Woolies. You like these flowers that I got? I bought them from the Dandenong market in Victoria. They were $15, so pretty. I bought some little flowers for myself. I'm such an idiot. So this is like my work camera. So this camera is like Lewis's spare. He's not using it anymore. And I use it to film like my reels and stuff. And I dropped it. And I'm not sure if you can see, but like the screen protector has like shattered. And before when I picked it up, some of the shards got in my thumb. You probably can't see. Oh, it's like I know. It's like the tiniest little bit right there. But it really hurt. So then I had to go and get a screen protector off Amazon. I use this mic for like my voiceovers and for any of my reels where it requires talking, because it doesn't pick up on like the background noises and makes it sound less echoey. And then I also have this sticky thing for like if I want to stick it on like the window, it will stay. I just can't use it with this. So like if I want to film like from the window, it will just stay there. At first I was really sketched out by it because I was like, oh my God, I don't want to drop it. But they work. They're really suctiony. It's almost 4 o'clock, which means it's almost time for our second walk of the day. So I do an 8 o'clock walk and then roughly like a 4 o'clock. As long as obviously the weather is permitting. We only went for one walk yesterday because it was raining. I got these today as well. They're just from Aldi. They're like the tortilla chips, and they said that they're only there for like a limited amount of time, but they were really yum. So I'm kind of hoping that they bring these back and that they don't get rid of them. Or maybe I'll just have to buy them in bulk. Should we say hi to the cats? I literally live the best life. See, Sneaky. So you say hi, Snee. Oh, hello. And then we have Honey, who's sleeping as well. The biggest princess of them all. Hello, Honey. She's actually being so annoying with our Harry Potter room. Our Harry Potter room is the like room under the cupboard. She always wants to get in it, and I don't quite know why. Like there's nothing in there for her. I look like a disheveled mess, but I haven't actually got ready like properly for the day. I'm trying out a new like Instagram setup. So whenever I've previously like recorded recipe videos and stuff, I've always done it with the back facing camera. So like with this camera. So then I can't see what I'm doing. And a couple of times I have forgotten to press record on a few of the recipes, which means that I've then had to go back and re-record like portions or parts of the recipe, which is really annoying, and that's what I have to do today because on Friday I forgot to press record for like a middle bit, so I have the start and the end, but I've completely missed the first bit. So what I'm going to try and do is maybe set up in the kitchen, like set up in the kitchen, but normally I film there, so like right near the window. And while I'm waiting for the trolley, I figured maybe I should try filming in the kitchen. Like on the Canon, it looks really good because I think the color grading and the lighting and everything, I'm not sure. It works really well on this camera, but then as soon as I use like an iPhone, because the quality is not the same, it struggles a little bit. So let's have a look and see if we can get like good lighting or footage from the front facing camera. So the front camera works okay, but there's a lot of shadows in the footage at the moment. Whereas if I film right near the window over there, because it's a natural light, there won't be any shadows. So I think I'm gonna try with a ring light, and then if that doesn't work, I might have to wait like an hour and see if the shadows are still there or not. But if not, yeah, we might just have to film on the floor. This is the lighting of the video that I shot today. See how it's like nice and white slash like sort of yellow. The lighting's pretty good. I'd say that the actual footage maybe isn't as clear as using the back camera on this phone, but the lighting is certainly better. This was filmed with the back camera. But see how it's like blue? You probably can't even really tell the difference there. The back camera in the kitchen gives kind of like a blue hue, and I'm not really sure why, or like it's harder for me to control the light because I can't see what's going on. Have like a massive effect on my views and if people like choose to follow or engage in my content or not. We will see. It's good that I'm experimenting with like, it's good, I guess I'm experimenting with videos that I'm not expecting them to go viral. Like I still obviously really want them to do well, but I'm still sort of like in the experiment phase. And obviously if these videos don't get like anywhere near as many views, so I'm currently on an average of like 1,500 views per reel. So if the ones that I currently am making for my viral videos, my viral recipes, if they don't perform anywhere near as well, so if they're sticking to like under that and all of them, then I guess I'll go back to using the back camera, because clearly the blue hue doesn't bother anyone except for me. I'm just about to have my second coffee and then I'm gonna go for my walk for the day. After that, I have to get onto my Google Drive and rename and upload some photos for the blogging website, like the food blogger website. So then we can continue working on that and hopefully push that live in like the next week or two. Luisa is currently working on some graphics for it. We're gonna have some cats as some little graphics on the website just to make it a bit more quirky, a bit more different, not so like everyone else's. So he said that the illustrator will probably take about 2 weeks to do that. So I'm kind of working on that task sort of every afternoon in the morning before I start to film. Otherwise, it was a pretty successful day today. I mean, I only really made like one recipe. Tomorrow I'm making 2. So we'll see how we go with that. The thing that I kind of struggle with at the moment is like cooking the recipe, taking the photo, making sure that the photos that I'm taking align with the steps that are going to be on the website. Like there's a lot to think about rather than just creating Instagram content, because Instagram content, it's like, okay, well I've shot from that angle, now I'm going to shoot from this angle. If I've cut a tomato from front on, okay, well now I'm going to cut the tomato from side on. I cut the tomato from side on, so now I need to go from like point of view. So there's a lot, like that seems like it's a lot to think about, but like angles aren't as like complicated as then like photos, like remembering to stop and actually take the photo. But dinner tonight, I can't show you because it's part of my budget series, but it is going to be delicious, I hope. Anyway, if I don't see you for the rest of the day, I'll see you tomorrow morning. So it's about 11:30 on Thursday and I'm currently in the process of cooking. So this is the setup that we've got. So we've got phone, tripod, and electric cooker, cast iron, right near the floor. So if you've watched me previously, the lighting in our like kitchen area can sometimes really suck depending on the weather. So most of the time I have to cook here, but I usually have to cook like on the floor. So my knees, my hips get a little bit sore throughout the day because I'm obviously getting up, down, or like for this one, for example, I don't have to necessarily be on the floor. Like I can lean across, but that's obviously not good for my back. However, this morning, I did get a very exciting delivery. So the other day I bought a kitchen trolley and it has arrived. We've got Chinicky guarding it for us. So I'm gonna try and put this together maybe tonight or this afternoon. It's quite heavy, so I'm not sure if I need Lewis's help or not, but this should make cooking a lot easier. It is hopefully worth the investment for me, especially for being a new business. We don't really wanna spend too much money if we're not, bringing in a lot of money, but that was more for like, let's say health and safety. So I'm just gonna cook this meal. This is part of my budget series. And yeah, you can just like sit, watch, kind of see how I do things. And then I'll show you some of the lunch that I'm gonna have. I just finished making this like cheeseburger wrap and holy shit, it's so good. So it's got cheese, a special mayo, lettuce, tomato, and like a beef patty that's in the shape of a triangle. God, it's so good. I think I may have overcooked the patty just slightly, but holy shit, that's so yum.